pretty healthy enough to pick up his red. No real aggression coming out from Brio. But the roam down from Erzi. Exhaust being popped on Chrono as Young Hundreds will re-engage. Chrono is stuck on a bad place right now, but Rocket Jump and Flash will bring him to safety. And just like that, the gank from Erzi is shut down. Chrono getting away with his life. Did have to pop both Flash and Heal, but definitely worth it to not give that first kill to the Katarina. But there it is, Brio, and just Chrono just annihilates that Annie. Jakob quite squishy in the early levels, did start that Spell Thief's Edge. Erzi getting poked down by Coach Tyler. CS advantage pretty even, actually. I was about to say that Coach Tyler had the edge there. He does have that wave pushing towards him, though. Trustin Tay, Meganar in the bush. Not opting to go on to Versace, though. And ganks from Brio, 2 for 2 this match. But there it is. Trustin Tay actually jumps onto Versace. The boulder hits, forces the flashes out. Mininar now in effect will poke Versace. But here comes Yanguchi, though, up in the top lane. Bandage toss does miss as Trustin Tay's trying to juke his way out of this mess right now. He actually is going onto Yanguchi. He jumps onto Young Versace. The boomerang is going to pick up the kill right there. And Trustin Tay 2v1s flashes out. The red buff is going to tick and net Gucci the kill. But all in all, Tay making it an even 1v1. Coach Tyler actually having quite the battle in the mid lane. Not giving Erzi any respect there. Cabasco actually finds out Cobb thanks to the Tremor Sense from Brio. Brio comes in, gets a knock up onto Cobb. Unfortunately, the passive has worn off. Yanguchi does have a bomb on his head, but Chrono not able to charge that up with his auto attacks. Should be fine. Now pings for TWC onto that dragon, wanting to make something happen. Coach Tyler getting just free auto attacks off to Erzi, punishing Cat from farming. Surprising that no Boots health pot start. Instead, going to go for that Ruby Crystal on that Katarina. An interesting pickup from Erzi. Meanwhile, a farm in the bot lane is actually heavy favoring Hundreds right now. Something that is very un-Chrono-like. We'll see if that starts to increase in Sid's favor. But Trustin Tay almost Meganar farm. Both of them are 6. Ulti available from him as he goes on to Versace. And Versace will just back off. Meganar, not something you want to deal with this early in the game, if ever. But Chrono having the huge advantage, item-wise, on Hundreds. As he used 2-0, a pickaxe and a longsword. And just like that, Coach Tyler just throws out the ball and shockwaves, picking himself up a solo kill. Trustin Tay and Versace trying to duel it out. Kind of getting the worst end of that stick. But Brio is going to be up there, spots Gucci, gets a knock up, is going to duel this Amumu. Unfortunately, Gucci is a level advantage onto him. He has no help. Now Coach Tyler is coming up, smites away. Brio is there. So is Tay off the backside. He has Meganar soon, but is opting to just back away from that as Coach Tyler did not want to commit his full aid. Now, It looks like with the first backs coming out, blue going over to Coach Tyler. Brio will hand that over. It's going to be hunting, guys, for that cadre in the mid, going for that early pen. Now, that's a little bit greedy, in my opinion, versus Coach Tyler's Orianna. I would have much rather seen a Bizzle, an early Bizzle coming out from Cat, especially after getting solo killed by an Orianna. Not something you want to have happen again. But ping is coming out from TWC as they spot Sid making their way to the dragon pit, wanting to make sure that they don't give that dragon off for free. But unfortunately, Hundreds and Jakob are pressuring. Meanwhile, Trust and Tate chunking Versace down right now. We'll have Meganar soon. Could tower dive that in eventually if he keeps on getting harassed down. He does have that Vamp Scepter, so that's sustain in lane. Now with that solo kill, Coach Tyler has widened the gap of CS in his favor. Brio is here though for Erzi. Young Gucci though is also there for the counter gank. It looks like Chrono and Kabuzco though are going to roam up to see if they could make something happen, and they will just back off and push that wave to turret, hopefully denying Young Hundreds some farm there. But Coach Tyler and Erzi trying to duel the flash knockup from Brio forces Erzi to flash the smite though, and Shockwave will finish him off. And just like that, Coach Tyler 2-0 did pick up that Athene's Unholy Grail. Or not full Athene's, he does have the Chalice, sorry, so he does have the mana regen and MR, but Versace likes his duel, but that's Meganar gets thrown into the wall as he gets ulted out. Versace should be alright. All the while, with that solo kill, the first dragon will go in favor of the Wight camp. Good rotations there, considering the fact that Jakob and Hundreds were not in lane as of yet to stop that dragon. Too busy getting the crump. And Brio is going to put some deep wards in and counter jungle this Amumu. Now both Young Hundreds is actually back in this thanks to that early CS advantage that he had. He does come back into lane with a BF sword. Chrono still sitting on that pickaxe and longsword. But here comes Brio. Glacial Fissure will knock up both. A collateral damage chunking down the bot lane, but heal being popped. Kabuzco a little too deep, taking tower damage, and he's going to fall. Going a little too deep in that engagement. Should have just been happy with the flashes, but Brio spots out Young Gucci with the Tremor Sense, sees that Erzi's also there. Chrono needs to help out his jungler though. Curse of the Sad Mummy will result in a double kill for Erzi, but Chrono gets the answer kill on to Gucci. But their bot tower is surely going to fall as 3 members are here. Now Coach Tyler needs to push in the mid lane to punish Erzi roaming. But Orianna not known for taking down towers too fast as he tries to chunk away at it. Meanwhile, at the top lane, the island still continues. Versace does pick up his Catalyst, going to help him sustain in lane a bit more. But surprisingly, vision for Sid is dominating right now. But there's the shockwave onto Erzi. Coach Tyler needs to watch out for Jakob. Could just turn on him right now. And that's Coach Tyler will kill Jakob. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, flash forced out of Versace as Tay goes onto him. Tay just having dominant, like a dominant top laner. bullying Versace there. Thankfully, CS is pretty even for both of them. Kabusco now trying to do his best to clear out wards. Again, the warding from the Wight camp, not the best. Brio is going to over to Versace. He does pop ulti bit, but that's not going to negate that damage. And Brio will pick that one up for himself. Kind of relieving Tay some breathing room up there. Put some damage on that top turret. Yanguchi's trying to answer with him. Bandage toss is being held right now. Tay is going to jump away. Meanwhile, Brio catches out Young Hundreds, and they collateral damage not enough. The roam up from Erzi though will pick up Tay. So in essence, a 2v1, 2 for 1 in favor of the Wight camp though. All in all, Dr. Chrono will pick up the bottom tower though. Versace trying to do his best to save it, but will not be able to. Now this is the patented TWC split, leaving Chrono all by his lonesome. Now because Tay was taken out in the top lane, Gucci is able to put some damage onto that top turret. Might actually even take it. No, does not have the minion wave too, but the rotation coming out of TWC onto Sid's mid turret, but they are here in force. Now, they know that Gucci isn't there though. Gucci being the jungler, not having TP, they could engage onto this, considering the fact that Versace doesn't have TP. But it looks like they're just gonna back up for now. Rek'Sai ultimate though will bring Brio back into the mid lane. Going to see if they want to take a fight onto this one. Shockwave available for Coach Tyler. This turret is very low. It's going to fall just like that. Meanwhile, top lane, Tay trying to finish that off. Versace is here though. Yanguchi waiting in the wings. Tay will actually just go on to Versace. A big gnar into the wall. Brio finds Yanguchi in his own jungle. He does have the support of Kabusco. Q will land. That is most likely going to be a dead Kabusco. Actually, Erzi is going to be here. Nice glacial fisher will pick up the kill, but Erzi gets off an ultimate. Kabusco does not survive. That's going to be a shutdown gold onto Tyler though, as he answers the kill onto Erzi. It's going to be a 3 for 3 trade right now, pretty even, as both teams are going to just duke this out. Poor Tibbers gets taken out by Oriana's cogs. Yak not really controlling Tibbs all that great after putting it, but with that said, Vision trying to be brought back. Oh, the flash from Tyler! The dissonance and auto attack enough to pick it up. Young Hundreds did flash, but just not fast enough. Auto attack was already on its way. He must be feeling salty about that. Did have heal available, could have healed. But Dragon is spawned up. Yanguchi is here trying to poke his head, but they don't have vision. Finally now dropping a ward. Spotting out Brio there, waiting in the wings, but it looks like Scuttle is going to go over to TWC as Brio chases it down the river. Rotations coming out from Sid right now. Young Versace is here, seeing as he did not have TP. They don't have Young Hundreds though, as he had just spawned, making his way down there. Now, Tay has TP available to him, so they did send him top to push that. TPs are going to be very important once this fight breaks out. Could be interesting. Coach Tyler does chunk out Young Cobb right now. Versace leading the rush for his team. A twisted advance onto Coach Tyler as they catch him with Curse of the Sad Mummy, and it's just the wombo from Sid right now. Picks up 2 kills. Collateral damage into Death Lotus. Will net Sid a dragon. All the meanwhile though, Trust and Tay up in the top lane, making them pay. Brio comes in, unfortunately not able to smite that away. He is going to pay for it with his life. Flashes over the wall, just a bit too late. Versace able to TP up top, though, to stop the aggression from Tay. Tay needs to watch out, but a huge damage from Tay. The Blade of the Rune King now finished for him as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, that Liandry's is the first pickup for Erzi. So we'll be doing a lot of percentage health damage. But Blade of the Rune King pop. Trustante has committed already. He's taking some tower hits, though. Oh, taking that extra tower hit, and Versace and Jakob get away with it. Tay not playing his best right now, as was to be expected from both teams. Both teams a bit tired with this late match. But regardless, Coach Tyler finished that Rabadon's death cap already. 5-1-0. Huge on that Oriana. Chrono sitting on an Infinity Edge himself. Again, just being left alone in that bot lane. Surprisingly not too explosive, but Sid doing a great job to tie themselves up in kills. Unfortunately, they are still 3k gold behind. Now, it's going to be a double Leandry's pickup for Sid right now. Young Gucci also picking up that Leandry's. Now, that will make him quite squishy. So they need to make sure that they pick their fights smartly. But Chrono now gaining a CS advantage as he has been left in that bot lane all alone. The roam from Kabusco actually just helping Coach Tyler in the mid lane, though doesn't really need too much help. Now Young Gucci is over here, actually catches Kabusco with a bandage toss. Oh man, but Glacial Fissure will be enough to disengage off of that fight. Kabusco will live with his life. Now, though, with him forced to go back, Sid is going to make sure they siege this tower, going to try to rush it. Coin being popped by Jakob, but no catches there, as he does not have a flash for that flash tippers. Kabusco actually not going back might be a bit of a mistake, but Tay in the backline trying to flag big Gnar into the wall as he pops up. The pop-up from Brio will go, but ultimate from Erzi, he gets the resets, and that's going to be 2 for 2 right now with the white camp blinking red. Kabusco is burning right now, but he is going to come out alive. Chrono also dropped pretty low, but does keep his life. These fights are very, very even right now, and a little bit of lack of communication from Tay, as his team did not push up forward, taking a bit of time to get there. Now Coach Tyler needs to watch out because there is still a lot of damage potential coming out from Erzi. That Leandry's big pickup now working towards that. I would have... it looks like a Void Staff. It looks like a Void Staff as he is sitting on a Amplifying Tome. Big shockwave though, as Coach Tyler will just grab himself a double kill. And Jakob and Erzi not respecting the damage coming out from a Rabadon's Oriana. 7-1-1 right now. 200 CS. Doubling Erzi's farm in that mid lane. And Trustante working towards getting that tankier now. He did rush that Blade of the Rune King. Usually we see him go a bit more tankier earlier on, delaying that Blade of the Rune King to that 3rd or 4th slot item. But yeah, Cobb here trying to push Brio and Tay away. Meanwhile, Young Gucci in the top lane will pick up that finally weak T1 tower. And Kabuzko getting some deep wards in. Warding has been a little bit lackluster for both teams, in all honesty, but now starting to pick up as the double sightstone for the Wight camp finally paying off a little. But the Wight camp still sitting on a 3k gold advantage. From here, Dragon is up in 30 seconds. Ping's going down from Sid though, as that Dragon was all them. Now thanks to Brio's attempted steal, the Wight camp is sitting on the timer as well, but it looks like they're just going to put some pressure down in the mid lane. They can trade this. Sid is out of position, and as we know, Tristana just wrecks turrets so fast. Meganar able to zone out the squad. Kabuzko and Brio doing their best to hold out, but there's the coin flash. Twisted advance onto Coach Tyler. Nice Glacial Official to zone out the backline. Erzi trying to get his ultimate off, but Chrono will pick that up. Meanwhile, shut down onto Coach Tyler from Versace, a maximum range bandage shots onto Chrono. Chrono needs to get out of there. Unfortunately, Trust and Tay not in that fight at all. Could have changed how that ended up, but a 3 for 2 in favor of Sid. Yeah, Trust and Tay just totally ignoring his backline right there. But the vision, oh, the vision for Sid right now is absolutely spectacular. As you can see, have full control of their jungler right now, knowing full well that their T1s are down. But a ward dropped by Chrono will spot, or will give them the timer for it. But the Wight camp does lose the third dragon of the game. Now, actually, a full Athene's finished for Coach Tyler as he picks up his second Nidosular Rod, going no doubt for that Zhonya's. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Erzi has now finished his Void Staff, is sitting on another Blasting Wand, most likely going for that Abyssal, or at least I hope so. And Young Gucci building quite an aggressive Amuvu, not something that you see too often, but he is going, he did go from that Leandries into a Rylaze. Oh, but Erzi getting chunked by that command dissonance. That shockwave onto Coach Tyler will pick himself one. Kabuzko is here. Now will get the stun on Yakov. No, just too fast. Tibbers does block out that Q. Unfortunately, Coach Tyler not able to auto attack one more time. Would have netted that kill onto Yakov. But all the while, Tay and Brio are pushing away that bot lane. Oh, Young Gucci getting caught now. Again, he's not very tanky. Does get smited, but there's the Blade of the Rune King, and Tay will easily pick up that. The rotation's big Gnar into the wall. Yakov is going to surely fall. Double kill for Trust and Tay. He's tanking turret, though. And Hundreds will pick that up. Young Hundreds, 2, and 8. Not the best score for an ADC, but staying neck and neck in farm with Chrono. Meanwhile, speaking of Chrono, they actually do dive the bottom as Chrono split pushes the top. And honestly, Sid right now looking so good. Oh, Glacial Fissure out will not be enough. Kabuzko picks that out. Picks that kill up. Young Gucci in, trying to get Chrono out. Curse of the Sad Mommy doesn't hit though. Chrono trying to go in. Q does miss. He does get bandage shots, but he is burning things to Leandries. Kabuzko is going to be the sacrificial lamb though, as he protects or saves his ADC, actually getting out. And all the meanwhile, Coach Tyler, Tay, and Brio will pick up an inhib at the bot lane. So great rotations coming out of the Wight camp. A fight that Sid looked like they had in the bag. Though they got the kills for it, they lose their base. Just absolutely getting out-rotated and looking a little bit lost now that they have their backs against the wall. It was pretty even in kills this entire game, but the Wight camp finally extending that gold lead that they've held onto up to 7k. And what can Sid do to get back into this game? They are up one dragon. They are trying to put some wards onto that Baron, knowing that it is a threat. That Blade the Ruin King Gnar, along with that Tristana, can do a lot, but Brio actually gets caught. Tibbers on his face. He's trying to get out of there. Will tunnel away, but Jakob will pick that up. Meanwhile, the TP comes in from Versace. Tate trying to do his best to deny that, but, well, there is no one to answer that push now, as he marches with his super minions towards the base of Sid. Needs to get out of there, as the rotations from Sid is good. Coach Tyler will put pressure onto Versace. Tay gets stunned out though. A bandage toss will lock him in place, and unfortunately he will fall. Meanwhile, Coach Tyler actually picks up Versace. So it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Well, 2-for-1 trade, including the death from Brio, as he is still dead. Death timer starting to get quite a bit long now. But Sid's base is exposed. Now, as I was mentioning earlier, warding from Sid has been on point, but now all of a sudden they have no wards on the map, and it is all the Wight camp on the one objective that is the most important right now, and that is going to be this Baron. Now, that is not to say a dragon is all but forgotten. It does spawn in 50. Now, the Wight camp might just trade out the Baron for a dragon, or vice versa. We'll see what happens there. But both teams doing the Baron dance. Wards being dropped out for them, but Versace does need to take care of those super minions streaming in the base of Sid, and unfortunately it is in the bottom lane for them. It's the furthest lane away from Baron. Brio will go Flash. Flash is coming in. Glacial Fisher will knock up hundreds, and that is most likely going to be a pick. Jakob is trying to do his best, but it's not enough, and Young Chrono will take out wow, Chrono will take out Young Hundreds. Bandage shots onto Coach Tyler though. Curse of Sad Mummy. Zanya's is popped for Coach Tyler, but nice shockwave before he goes down though. Shutdown gold going over to Versace, but Trust Tate gets to Air Z. Brio in the backline, zoning out Young Gucci. Chrono trying to do as much damage as he can, but the focus just isn't there. Was wailing away at the tanks of Young Gucci. But it was all a ploy, as they do have to back off with low health bars, deal with the super minions knocking at the Nexus turrets, and that even a fight that they lose actually is not going to net them an inhib kill. Will fall. Now a bit of a messy game from the Wight camp right here, kind of tunneling on these inhibitors, and Sid doing a great job defending these. Home guard boots definitely helping. Unfortunately, Kabuzko and Chrono not really paying attention to those death timers. But Dragon is up now. Chrono already there. Going to actually start it. And with no members of Sid in the vicinity, they are going to tie up the Dragons 2-4-2. This game looking like it's going to drag on to its later stages, as we are now heading toward that late game. People working on their 5th or 6th item on the Wight camp. Item advantage is definitely on TWC though. Sid just a little bit behind. Now, I really question this Young Gucci's pick on his itemization. Yes, you do damage as an AP Mumu, but with a triple AP comp, there's just going to be a lot of MR, and there is a lot of MR on TWC. Double Spirit Visage. Now Warmogs worked on by Tay. Going to be very tanky. Help that regen, but we'll see. I mean, 4, 4, and 17 on that Amumu. Young Gucci has been a huge part chunking TWC with that Curse of the Sad Mummy, but he is not the front line that they need. Versace is working towards a Spirit Visage of his for himself as well. Already has that Frozen Heart, and Roa is pretty tanky, but they do not really have a true tank, unlike TWC with both Brio and Tay on that Rek'Sai and Gnar respectively. Bandage Toss missing Brio could have spelled disaster if they lost their jungler Erzi, taking a command dissonance to the face. Meanwhile, Trust and Tay is just backdooring this inhibitor as they try to do the Baron dance. Trust and Tay is going to get that for himself. They do send out Young Gucci back, but he does get the inhib. Tay is just going to rotate to that bottom. Now Leanders is doing a lot of damage to him as he's sitting in that Cry. Nice Gnar into the wall. Erzi is here too as well. Same with Yaksop, but the rest of TWC are just going for this inhib. Now the rotation coming out of Sid. They need to get out of there because the re-engage is going to be real for them. Young Gucci pretty low, but he still has Curse of the Sad Mummy available. It looks like a vision being cleared out from by Sid in their own jungle, trying to reclaim that. Still keeping eyes on that Baron. It is still such a threat. Both teams not really wanting each other to grab that Baron buff. It's a tremendous help to push the lane. Oh, now Kabasco trying to stop the recall of Young Gucci by smacking Baron. Unfortunately, just a little too late. And it looks like TWC is posturing around the Dragon Pit. They know that Versace has to clear out the supers down in the bot lane. He does have TP, however. Oh yeah, Jakob does get pinged out by Coach Tyler. As he gets spotted by Ward recalling. Trusante is here, Kabusco. And Chrono? No, just Chrono goes back. Oh, with Brio as well. Brio activating that Rek'Sai ulti to get back. Going to push that top wave. Now, TWC can't fight here. They don't have their ADC. As Sid tries to lay a trap for them, but the warding is good for the Wight camp. They do have vision here. Can't get blindsided. Trustante actually gets engaged upon with Bandage Toss. There comes the coin. Glacial Official up. Big Gnar ulti from Tay, unfortunately missing the wall. He is dropping quite low. Collateral damage still yet to come out from Young Hundreds, but there's Erzi trying to do a lot of damage in the back there. Trustante is still alive. Double kill for Erzi as he's getting the resets though, and it's going to be just a wipeout. Thankfully, Chrono gets something off of that as the bomb is good enough. But Sid, so ever close to acing the Wight camp. Young Gucci needs to get out of there, as Dragon does a lot of damage. He is not tanky whatsoever. Almost an ace, as Sid is actually making the Wight camp fight here in game 1. The White Camp really need to focus Erzi. He has been getting the resets that he's looking for in this team fights, and honestly, this double Leandries is doing a ton of damage to the White Camp. Dragon has spawned now. Brio has started that with Chrono, and it's going to be the 3rd dragon for the White Camp. Chrono getting caught out. The stun that is into Bandage Toss. That's going to be 1 dead Tristana. Chrono getting caught out. Could have just rocket jumped over the wall. But unfortunately, that didn't work out. Now, the White Camp need to make sure that they keep a level head, though. They are still very much in this game. Sid just tying up everything. Gold now finally tied for the first time in this game. It's going to come down to a big team fight to either end this game for either team. Now, fortunately, the White Camp still has more towers than Sid. Sid's base is pretty exposed, as super minions are still marching their way down in the bot lane. Now, finally, their inhibitor has respawned. Sid trying to do their best to clear this out. But Baron being swept by TWC. They are trying to find a pick, but get spotted out by that Oracle Lens from Young Hundreds. You need to be very careful here. Both teams cannot afford to be caught out of position right now. Red buff is actually up for TWC. They could send Chrono over there, but their top lane is going to slow push in their favor. That should be nice as they try to siege this bottom. Now, minions have reached that bottom inhib. They do show that Erzi is clearing it up. They could try to make something happen. Actually falling dangerously low. So TWC trying to sweep out Sid's jungle. Trying to set up a pick themselves. Now, I honestly feel like they can't... Fighting in a corridor works both for both teams. But there's the bandage toss onto Kabuzko. Yanguchi actually chunking him down a little bit on the backside. The Gnar boomerangs are flying, doing what they can. Bandage toss missing though. Trust and Take could have been in trouble if that had hit. All lanes pushing in favor of TWC right now. This is exactly what they need as they try to find an opening in Sid's defenses. Now it looks like Coach Tyler is opting out for that Banshee's Veil. Can't say I blame him with the amount of stuns. And bandage toss. Oh, Jakob blowing Tibbs. But here comes Yanguchi, the flash. Bandage toss not finding anyone as they turn onto him. He is all alone. He will blow up. The shutdown going to Corono as they turn this fight around. Trust to stay on the other side. Jakob actually falling quite low. Kabuzko is chunked out, but he is tanky right now. And as they rotate down that bot lane to siege that inhib. Now Trust and Tate doesn't have Meganar. The twisted advance onto Versace, onto Cabasco. It is going to be a shutdown though, as a big shockwave will hit. Tay will pick up a kill onto Airzy, and there goes the double for Coach Tyler as they go on to Young Hundreds, and he is going to be the last one. Triple kill for Coach Tyler, and that is going to be GG. Well played for the Wight camp. It was a little bit close for them. As you can see, 32 to 31 in kills. But the Wight camp turning it around in one team fight will win game 1 versus Sid and remain, for now, still undefeated.